Hello and welcome to Module 1. It was a great week of orientation, getting to know all of you a little bit better. And I just want to make a comment really on the diverse nature of the group. We've got really interesting backgrounds. Many of you got experiences in a number of different countries. You bring your own experience of your own home markets and a lot of different diverse backgrounds in terms of your employment and where your finance knowledge has sit and where you want it to be. So it's really interesting, and it's been great to get to know you over the past week. And as we move into module 1, that knowledge and experience that you've all been sharing is more important than you think, because that background that you've got can bring to bear importantly over the coming modules. So please do remember, as an executive course, this is as much about you sharing a knowledge from each other as it is about the course, and the connections that you bring are very important as well. So I've seen some of you sharing your LinkedIn connections, and I appreciate that. Please do connect with one another to keep the conversations going both during and after the course. We are going to be doing a live session, and that live session will be on Friday, and that will be an opportunity to network and get to know one another as you enter the course, and that will help you to have those conversations a little bit more easily than if we weren't having that initial introduction. So if you aren't able to make it, perhaps drop the time in the diary to make sure that you do watch the recording, which will be available 48 hours after that's happened. So look forward to meeting some of you on that live session, and really great to see all your diversity of backgrounds. So what I would say is that the course, as you know, is not meant to make you a functional expert, but it is aiming to provide you with a set of skills, a set of principles, and a better insight into all matters relating to finance that any leader, particularly board members or executives, should really be aware of and comfortable with. And so in this module, we're going to introduce concepts relating to valuation, and all of the modules that follow will be through the lens of valuation. That's either from a project perspective, company valuation perspective, and you'll see how those concepts can be transferred to any business or enterprise, even early stage enterprises. We will first touch on earnings. And once we've covered earnings, we're going to think about how we connect those earnings to cash, and how we need to consider a number of factors to think about earnings and the concept of time value of money. That will be important as we go along to understand that principle, and specifically we'll look at how that impacts on decision making in a business once you start to look at rate of return. In the next module we build on that, so we start to look at the risk, and we start to look at risk and return. We unpack discount rate. We start to look at the rate of return further, but in module 2 you'll notice that we go on to provide some insight on where you might be going wrong in practice, and where things may be misrepresented or manipulated to give a different impression than perhaps is right. So we really will be exploring quite some interesting and subjective ways of thinking about the numbers, and I'm sure you will enjoy this journey. What we're aiming to do is equip you as a leader to assess the information that you're being presented with and critically evaluate that, and to support your own decision making and thinking about how you make decisions in a business based on that financial information that you may be presented with at board level. There's a lot of research that's gone into the background of this, and so you will hear from experts giving inside opinions and leading academics in the space. So it will be very interesting to take that group learning that you'll all bring from your own experiences, alongside the hearing from the experts and the academics that you will hear from across the course, and I'm sure the learning will be fantastic. So some of you may not be from a finance background, as I've seen, and some have more from a finance background. And of course, the program is designed to give you a skill set, but not necessarily to drive full knowledge. So across the course we will be delivering a number of assignments which have Excel based formats. There's 4 out of 6 are Excel based, and whilst you may not have full knowledge of that, I would encourage those who are more seasoned finance professionals to help those that aren't. So don't be worried about this. What we're trying to do is check when we're introducing calculations, when we're introducing formats, just do please, as you go through the assignments, make sure that you've covered all of the modules, all the information in the module, because we're not trying to catch you out, certainly not, and nothing that isn't covered there is present. So please do remember that as you're working through the module, ensure you've watched the videos, ensure you're following the examples, and then do ask for help. Don't get stuck once you have read that if you're not understanding it and you need some more support. Ultimately, this is a safe space. Do trust the space and put in any questions. Tag me if you need to, or put out to the group any questions that you want to, as we're all here to learn ultimately. A question that often comes up is how to make the most of the programme, and I would suggest keeping a journal, as I suggested. It's important, I think, although it's only a 6-week course, it's important to realise and recognise that that's 6 weeks. We're going to pack quite a lot in. So what you're thinking today may not be what you're thinking in 6 weeks. So keeping a track of where you are now and what your learnings are, how you're going to apply these principles and ways of working into your day-to-day life, that's the way that you'll weave through this learning into your day-to-day life, and then you're not going to lose it. So do track any changes, and do keep any reflections in that diary. You'll be able to ask Joel some questions throughout the course of the programme, and that will happen in the second and the third the second live sessions. But if you want to ask any questions, do make a note of those in the live section, and I will make sure that Joel is fully briefed in advance and has the opportunity to answer those questions. And for any of the live sessions, do please put your questions in there. Okay, perfect. Anything else, do tag me. If you want any more information and support, just please let me know. Look forward to working with you.